Today we're going to have a look at the features of kites and rhombuses. So let's have a look at the features of kites. All kites have the same features. Kites have two edges that are long and two edges that are short. The two long edges join at a corner and the two short edges join at a corner. Two of the corners are the same, but these two corners are different. One's a big corner and one's a little corner. It doesn't matter what size the kite is or which way the kite is facing. A kite is always a kite. Here are some kites flying in the sky. You can see big kites, little kites, and kites that are facing all different ways. They are all still kites though, because they have their two long edges, two short edges, two opposite corners that are the same, and two opposite corners that are different. Let's have a look at the features of rhombuses. All rhombuses have the same features. In the middle here, we've got a rhombus. There are four edges, which are all the same size and the same length. There are also four corners. Two of those corners, the opposite corners, are the same, and the other two corners are the same. It's kind of like a square that has been tilted on its side. It doesn't matter what size the rhombus is, or which way the rhombus is facing. Here are three different rhombuses, but they're all still a rhombus. Here are some rhombuses that you might see in everyday life. Here we've got a flag that has a rhombus in the middle. This is the sign of a very famous car manufacturer. I've got one of these cars. It's called a Toyota. This one looks like tiles that you might have in your bathroom. And here we've got two different rhombus patterns. Just a little side note to remember, a rhombus is not the same as a square. On a square, all the edges are the same length, but all the corners are also the same. Whereas on a rhombus, all the edges are still the same length, but the two sets of corners opposite each other are different. That is the difference between a rhombus and a square. So let's go back to what we were comparing. Let's have a look at the difference between a kite and a rhombus. So a kite has two long edges the same and two short edges the same. Two of the kite's corners are the same, but the other two are different. Whereas a rhombus has all of your edges the same and two sets of corners that are the same. So these two opposite and these two opposite. So therefore the main differences between a kite and a rhombus is the length of the edges and the fact that the kite only has one set of corners that are the same, whereas the rhombus has two sets of corners that are the same. Can you label the kites and the rhombuses? On this page there are two kites and two rhombuses. Pause your video here, see if you can find the kites and the rhombuses. How did you go? Did you get the same as me? Here are the two kites and here are the two rhombuses. Do you now know the difference between kites and rhombuses?